Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Well, in my real time, it's only been a matter of about 45 seconds since my last visit with you, but we're going to dive into episode 22 of SumDumWatch, covering the week of February 24th through March 2nd. My weekly and yet not lately weekly series covering what I've watched from my own physical media library, as well as theatrical viewings I attend for the week. So, thank you once again for joining me, and since it's only been about now a minute and a half, we're going to continue on where we left off. And from my own personally made 2-pack of Stallone wonderfulness, I watched Demolition Man. This is some, I think my printer was running a little bit low on ink when this insert was printed because it don't look too good. Some of mine look better than others, but when you're doing standard printer paper, you can't expect much, and you're using a $25 printer. It serves its purpose, okay? I get 2 movies in a 7mm case here. You know what? It don't have to be perfect. I love Demolition Man. It's a lot of fun. I regret never having a chance to see that at theater. I didn't hear about it in time, but it was 93. So yeah, it was. This was a high school rental, and dug almost everything about it. There's some things that don't really work about the film. That's okay. That's the case with every film, just about. I'm an unashamed Stallone fan across the board. I dig him. This was just a wild romp of a fun, good time, and I like it. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on, because this is going to be the briefest episode thus far in the history of SumDumWatch, because, as I mentioned before, IRL stuff, it's just overwhelming and kicking my ass lately, past couple weeks. So I have not had a whole lot of time reviewing. Next up, speaking of just crazy, wild, good times, this one in a complete nonsensical fashion, yet it's still one of my favorite Westerns ever, although I hate this packaging. It is Silverado. I believe this is from 1985. And this is a digibook. I don't like digibooks. In theory, I like the concept of them. I don't like that they can't design something like this to be the same physical dimensions as a standard case. Yeah. And yeah, if they could do that, I might be a little bit more supportive of this particular type of packaging. As it is, I'm not. Kevin Kline, Kevin Costner, Scott Glenn, Danny Glover, Brian Dennehy, Rosanna Arquette. This movie is just a crazy, quintessential, modern classic Western, I guess is what I would call it. It's a great, fun time. It can't take itself seriously for more than 30 seconds. As a whole, I like that. This movie really falls off a cliff in about is it the halfway point? It's just prior to, I don't know if you can hear that. Just went on a huge tangent. Silverado. This movie just past the halfway point when our cast gets to the town of Silverado. This movie must have been originally filmed and intended to be a lot longer. I've not looked into it. But the narrative of the story from this point forward gets so sloppy, choppy, and disjointed that you're almost not, there's no through line to connect the dots. For those of you who've seen Silverado, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's still a great movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. But narratively speaking, you get to that point at one point the brakes get slammed on while at the same time the gas, pedal to the metal, boom, gun it, shoot through the rest of it as quickly as possible. The narrative stops, but we're racing for the end at the same time. So we're just going to ding, 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 ding. We're just gonna, like that whole stone skipping on a pond thing I talk about for biopics. It doesn't flow. You just get touched upon these little events that aren't really substantial in their connectivity. And every time I watch the movie, and it's been a few years since I saw this one most recently, it bothers me more because I want to see what's behind the curtain. I would love to confirm that, hey, yes, this movie was another half hour longer originally, and it was cut down for reasons. If that's the case, I would love to see a complete, like, extended director's cut kind of thing, if such a thing would ever exist. I don't know. Moving on. Brain Capper time! We have an entry for each and single one. We are going into another 2-pack. This one here, called American Madness. And this was a very good, very touching story. Where are we on year-wise now? We're still in 1932. Man, Frank Capra was on a roll. I mean, different movies that he put out just for Columbia in each year so far. We've 19, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 so far. And this guy, I understand filmmaking was probably a lot simpler in the 30s than it is now. But holy crap, man. Respect for cranking out so many films of a decent length. This one is, I think this is only 76 minutes, so you're almost at an hour and a half. But solid quality across the board, really. American Madness. Basically a story of a bank. It's one man who's running a single solitary branch. Its board is looking to sell out because they don't trust the man that runs it. Mind you, he's not running it badly. He's not making bad decisions. The bank is completely financially secure, but they believe, the board, that he is overextending its capabilities with loans. He, on the other hand, is a believer in the people and uses his judgment of people as his basis for who he gives loans to. Now, we're, depression looming and times are tough, and these board of directors is just, they're freaked out and they're paranoid that he's just going to make one bad step, lose it all, they're going to become insolvent, and the whole thing's going to fail. So they want to sell out to a larger bank and secure their future before that happens. Meanwhile, one of his employees, who's gotten himself into some financial trouble through gambling, is offered a way out if he will allow this shady criminal character whom he owes all this money to allow his thugs to come into the bank after hours and essentially rob it. If he will provide a path for that to happen, it will allow him to get out from under his debts. He agrees. So in the midst of all this uncertainty about the bank's ownership and its solvency and everything else, boom, a huge chunk of the bank's money all of a sudden disappears overnight. And through careless communications, word of this money loss gets into the public ear, and people start rushing in, panic, and withdrawing their money. Well, what happens is the bank then actually runs out of money and becomes insolvent, and it becomes a fight to save the bank. Meanwhile, there's a love story intertwined in there, a couple, and then some scheming and some just, your standard fare. But this is a touching film. Okay, guess what? We've started season 6 of Seinfeld. Guess what? It skips, it starts, it freezes. I think I am currently on disc 3, so season 6 is almost up, actually. I think I've got only 2 more episodes. So the time that I've had free time to watch anything outside of the stuff that's been going on, most of it has been spent on Seinfeld. Movies. Theatrical viewings. 1. Take a sub. Come back. Focus your feelings. The Monkey. I saw this on a early Wednesday afternoon on the 26th. Did I get a private showing for this one? I might have. Hey, I'm blurry again. I might have. Or there were very few of this in this theater. And for good reason. The Monkey sucks. I don't know why I stayed. This was one of those films that was just like, I wanted to leave. I was not engrossed, engaged, entertained at all. There's a couple of off-the-wall, bizarre, I guess, funny kills that the monkey apparently does somehow. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the story was told. I didn't like the conclusion. I thought the trailer was largely misleading, whereas I thought this was going to be the story of 2 adult brothers fighting to save themselves and or their family or something by dealing with this possessed, crazed, psychopathic toy monkey with a little bit of childhood flashback to get the ball rolling, right? Well, as it turns out, like over maybe half or more of the movie is the childhood aspect of it. And by the time we switch gears to introduce the adult versions of these characters, it so interrupted the narrative for me that I was never able to get back into it again. It was almost like starting a fresh movie all over again, but only having half or less than half the runtime to get the ball rolling, and it just completely failed to do so. And I didn't find any of it convincing. There were certain revelations that came up towards the end. None of it worked for me. There was even kind of an end, just shocking thing just prior to the credits rolling that on the surface level, like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that. Wow, that was off the hook. But then you think about it for 2 seconds and you're like, wait, no, that's not possible. That doesn't work. Nope. And so I walked out of the theater pretty dejected, and I've lacked some theatrical experiences lately because of the things that have been going on. And wasn't happy that was the one that brought me back after 2 weeks. So the Monkey does not get some dumb recommendation. That's that. Next up, small unboxing. Is this not a short video after all? Okay. Thank you for watching. What if you watched word boxes? Fill it. Tell me what you've watched from your library. Tell me what you've gone to the theater to see. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Have you seen the stuff that I've watched? You have any recommendations for me to watch? Let me know. Thank you. Good night, everybody. See you in the next video.